So welcome back again to another one of Wren's Wasteland tutorials. Sorry it's taken me so long to do this. This is literally the 14th time I've done this. I have moved locations because I realized there were limitations in the location that I was previously making an attempt at using, which was Tyler County Fairgrounds. Because I didn't realize you couldn't quite do some of the same things that you can in this location that you could there. Alright, so today I'm going to show you a few quick tricks that will hopefully help you in your building. I will show you. Okay, so when you first place down one of these things, the trap is primed, it's ready, it's not functioning, so to speak. Now, whenever you place it, you pick it back up, you place it down, and then you see the plate there drop back down into it. So if you are going to attempt to merge items using the pressure plate, you have to place it and pick it up first, and then you should be able to merge whatever you want to. And I will show you real quick. You just place the item that you want to merge on top of this. Okay, hold on a minute. What the heck? Sorry. Oh, man. That life-saving armor really kicks in good, doesn't it? Yeah, they're gonna die. So every time I've made this video, or made an attempt at making this video, something like this has occurred. Either I have been attacked, the phone has rang, my child's computer has exploded, or something else has gone on which has totally made it to just utterly rock my world into oblivion. So, anyway, as I was saying, back over here. So you place this down on top of a pressure plate. You decide you want to put something on your shelves. You go through your inventory. You find, say, this little statue here. And you're like, I like that statue. It's cool. I'll go ahead and put it and a couple of these tin cans and maybe this jug on the bottom. And I want to get them down on the shelf below. So what you do is you place them on top. You place them roughly where you want them. You pick this up and you just click it. You don't move it. You just click it. Pick it up, place it, pick it up, place it. As long as they were level to begin with, they'll be level when they get to the bottom. Now, height does matter, as you can see. So you want to make sure the items that you have placed on your shelves are going to be visually appealing there. Now, that means make sure that the items are not going to be poking from one shelf into the next. The cans will be fine, but both the bottle and this statue will have their tops poking through it, see? Now that can be covered up with other items by placing more items on top of them. As things go down, it'll all even out. But I just wanted to show you what not to do in this case and what to do at the same time. Now, once you have it placed, that last click that you do to pick it up and move it will cause them to drop just a fraction of a hair more. So keep that in mind when you're moving it. You want to make sure that you move it, but you don't have it all the way at the bottom. All right, moving right along. Now, one thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to have bought these plans either from Graham or from one of the vendors at White Springs. They sometimes sell them. And there's a couple other vendors that sometimes have them throughout the Wasteland, but this is the advanced power connectors and plates. It's the ones that gives you um, these little, where are they? There we go. It's the one that gives you these. All of this stuff comes in the same container, basically. You get all of these in there at the same time, and I want to say these things go in there too. Maybe not the tripwire. I think the tripwire and some of the other trap-related things all come from the uh, what's her name? Abby's Bunker quest line or the Rose quest line. Sorry, I couldn't think of Rose for some reason. It was just not on the tip of my tongue. Rose is the bot that's in the top of the world that you have to deal with for the Raider quest line. And Abby's Bunker is over here in the map. It is right up here. And that is the quest line for the guys that are down here, the Free States. That'll also get you the shrouded wood plans if you want the shrouded plans for the wood armor. Now, moving right along, that'll get you this right here. Now, two things you're also going to want are you're going to want uh, stairs, which you should have these stair posts unlocked at the beginning of the game. These walls here should unlock at the beginning of the game, and I want to say this roof tile here is the haunted roof tile, but any roof tile that will allow you to go from this flat roof to, let's see, the angled roof, not that one, this one, should work for this. Now, the reason why you're doing this is if you want to make something in your camp that appears to be floating, like say you want to make an airplane or you want to make a platform for like a crane or any of that kind of stuff, the easy way to do it is to build a few foundations up like so and build a couple walls up like so. And I recommend using the doors because the doors are the most forgiving things in the game. They also will allow you, besides being very forgiving and you can remove them, they will also allow you to run power lines and things through them if you need to, because you can run it right through the middle here and then go ahead and convert it into whatever wall type you need. And if you have the power conduits that come along with the uh, pressure plate, then it makes it real easy to place those as well. Now, with this, the reason why you want this roof to be convertible is, well, because when you change it over to this type here, it breaks the bond in game between the wall and the roof tile. Now, what that means is this wall is now removable, so you should be able to just get rid of it. This one too. And then what you can do is replace this back down to a flat roof tile. So I recommend using whatever tile you're going to want to end up with in the end for this. Because although this is removable and you can technically change it, it's much easier just to start with what you want. Okay, so that's how you build a floating roof, and you notice that's not attached to anything at this point. It's just kind of hovering there. Now, the reason why I have these posts out, that's to show you a different trick entirely. Now, the posts, what you want to do is, say you want to build, like in my Mistress of Mysteries build, I have these floating platforms that are out around it. And what they are the alien set of these catwalks. This is the vault set here, and the set that I usually like to use is this rounded off set. It just naturally looks better to me. It has a better appearance, if that makes any sense. So what you do is you place them up at the top of the pole at about the general height that you want. You can go as high as you really want to with this. Um, as long as you're within your build height limit, you shouldn't have a problem. By that, I mean you can go like, let's see here. Let's go over to this one here. It might work a little better. Okay, there's 3, right? Then I go over here and I place this on top. There you go. Then what you're going to want to do is take a piece of floor decor. Now you can use one of these bottles or cans or golf tees if you want to use something small. These came from the Amazon Prime deal that they had a while back where you linked, I want to say, your Prime Twitch account with your Bethesda account and you got these shooting targets. This shooting target is one that came out later on, and this one here is yet another one that came out later on. But it's usually what I use are rugs because rugs, well, rugs are in everybody's inventory. You can find at least some rug that you can use. Now, what you want to do is you're going to take and you're going to create a blueprint. And the reason you're going to do this is because this creates a versatile blueprint that you can use to, in this case, um, place these platforms anywhere you want to. So I'm going to go ahead and create a blueprint. I'm going to call it Bob, so it's easy to find. Okay, so now I made Blueprint Bob. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to find Blueprint Bob under my Blueprint category. Now, see, I blueprinted a post because I needed it for something and I don't remember what it was. But this is Bob right here, right? There's that rug and there's that platform that I just blueprinted. Doesn't look like it's very useful yet, but whenever you place it down somewhere, you can immediately place that platform floating at the height of whatever those columns were. So if you need it to be a certain height, I recommend going with, you know, figuring out what height you need it to be at, placing your posts at that height, and then going ahead and making your blueprint. Now, the other option is, which is really kind of cool, is because of the way this is done, it allows you to do things like this as well. Like you can take this rug, you could put it up here on top of your floating thing. You could create another blueprint. And we'll go ahead and call this, let's see, we'll call it Bob A. Or, nah. We'll call it, yeah, we'll just go Bob A. Bob space A. Okay. Now, Bob Space A should be in my inventory as something I can build. Now, the cool thing about Bob Space A is that instead of being vertical like the other one, Bob Space A should be sideways or horizontal. So I should be able to place Bob Space A anywhere I can place a rug. And if I build it out far enough, okay, oh, see, I made a mistake and made it too low. But here we go. We'll place it here. Gets you the idea. So the rug's up here. The platform comes out right here. Now, if I were going to build a bridge to, or wanted to build stairs to get up here, what I would do is I would place one of these platforms. I would throw down a set of stairs attaching to it, and I would figure out the exact height that I wanted to get it on here. So I would play around with it for a while. I might even go as far as building something up here to make it so that you could, step off of it and onto it. The cool thing about the floating platforms is it'll allow you to place stairs pretty much anywhere you want to. The negative part about this is once you have placed your stairs, they are pretty much there. So be careful with that. You can do things afterwards like I don't know if it's going to let me do it. There we go. You can go ahead and place floors then that are floating. There we go. If you want to try and get things to turn or look a certain way. Um, you can also just go ahead and add another set of stairs to it once you've done that. Now, once you get this to the ground, you can go back through and delete all of this. But until you do, this stuff is relatively permanent. See? Now, if I go back and I go ahead and try and put in another one of these down here, see? Still permanent. But if you make it go all the way to the ground and you connect it up with another set of stairs all the way at ground level, it will be connected in a fashion that the game will recognize, and you can go back through and delete all of this as much as you want. It's a cool little trick for building stairs in locations that you normally can't. Now, the other thing about building this platform is you can go ahead and remove this piece, and you can just place it on one of the other pieces, like this one here. Then you've got the little discs that I made, or you can place it normally. But the as I was saying, stairs is primarily the reason why I came up with this. But there's a lot of different things you can do with it. And if you can get it to line up right, it's actually easier to build stairs using the other set of uh, pieces to get them to bend this way, because these pieces over here are just naturally kind of forgiving in that regard. Now, say you want to do double walls. Now, with standard walls, all you do is you place one here, like so, right? See the way it bounces back and forth when I shift it? And then you take your other wall. These walls are quite forgiving, by the way. And it just snaps in place. Now, what I was having issues with at the dirt track is it would not allow me to place any kind of wallpapers on these walls whenever I did this. It would let me do pretty much anything else that I wanted to, but no wallpapers for you, my friend. So I went ahead and moved here just so I could do this tutorial. Now, if you decide you want to, in the game we've got basically two types of foundations. You've got the concrete foundation, you've got the wooden foundation, and the basic set. If you have bought any of the other more advanced sets, there are other types of foundations that you can use, like for instance this one here, which is the Enclave set, and this one up here. Is that one it? Yeah, it's the Enclave set. And I was thinking of stairs or porches, which, the cool thing about the Enclave set of floors is they have these nifty built-in lights, which are awesome. If placed properly, you can do some really nice lighting effects without it really affecting your budget. Now, a lot of people, with this set in particular, covering it up on the outside is not a big deal, but with a lot of builders, what they like to do is they will cover the exterior of these wooden floors with a wall. And let's just go with this one here. That one snap in there. Nope. It's going to be a pain in the butt. See, the problem is water does a lot of weird things in this game, and it can do a lot of weird things to your builds whenever you're building. That's why I did it over here too. There we go. So you can snap this in, remove, and as you notice, once you've removed that, the stairwell is pretty much easy pickings. Now, you go back over here to your walls, you click on it, and a lot of people are doing this with their floors. They're just basically adding in an exterior wall and putting a wallpaper over it to give them a different style of cladding on the bottom to make their builds look a little different, which is great. I don't give anybody any kind of crap for that whenever they do it. It's actually a really nice advanced technique to use. Now, the problem is in water, it doesn't always work, as I just showed you. And the other problem is that if you are doing that, you might not. How should I put it? Be able to get this wall to go in as a full-sized wall. You might have to use like one of the half walls, which is fine. But the other thing that happens is you'll be building something and you'll be building it and say like you built this platform. Now I can't snap a wall on top of this. See, it's not going to let me do it. So in order to get a wall up here, I'm going to make this, and you can make this with any kind of wall that you want. You can make it with a half wall and shorten the height. You can adjust the post positioning to make it more maneuverable by doing a trick that I'll show you here in a second. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go back to edit and I'm going to blueprint this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make myself a nice floating wall blueprint. Now you need a catwalk, you need a post, and you need some type of floor covering or decoration. I, again, like to use rugs, so floor decoration is what I use. I'm going to call this one BB. And the reason why I'm using these names is because I want things to be at the top of my list of plans, by the way. You can use whatever names you want. It doesn't really make that big a deal. I just want them to be close enough to the top that I can find them easily for this. So you see, here's the blueprint that I just made. Let's rotate it around a little bit. You can see the floor decoration, the post, that catwalk, and the wall. Now, the cool thing about it is because this is built this way, it uses that floor decoration as its point of intersection whenever you place it. So that means that it will allow you to place it places like this. Places like this. Or even I think I'm too high in the build area. Yeah, I am. But you can float walls pretty much however you want to. Okay? Now, the benefit to this plan is whenever you place your walls, you can place them however you want. They're completely affectable, meaning like you can go over here and you can remove this and the post and the rug, and then the wall is going to stay there, okay? Once you have the wall placed, you can just use a replacement command. You can change it to windows, you can change it to doors, you can change it to whatever you want to make it at the time, and you can pretty much select any of the walls that you want normally. Now, the other benefit to this is it lets you change the interior direct decoration of a house because it will let you bypass the snap point on the exterior area right here. Okay? So you'll be able to actively bypass that snap point that is normally there. Now, once you have placed this down the first time, I highly recommend building a new blueprint. And the new blueprint basically is going to work like this. You're going to take the rug from wherever you placed it, and you're going to place it up here near the wall. And then you're going to do this whole blueprint thing again. Okay? You're going to create it. You're going to call it, in my case, I'm going to call it AB. And then I'm going to go into my listing and I'm going to look for it. There it is. Okay, now you see where the rug is in this one? It's placed there for the reason of trying to get this wall a little bit, to give me a little bit more finite control over the placement of the wall. Because it's using the rug as the placement point, that means I can do things like, really, really, really control the overall location of this wall. Now, this doesn't work because I screwed up and I blueprinted it the wrong way. But effectively, what you want to do is you want to start with a wall. Get this, this, and then you want to get this. Because build order in this game matters more than anything else for some ungodly reason. But build order is what everything in this game is built on. So, we'll try this again. And this still isn't working. That's amazing. It was working like a while ago. Oh well. So that doesn't work anymore. Too bad. But, so you built all this stuff, you can get rid of it pretty easy. As long as you're not using things like the stairs and this kind of stuff, you're fine. The stairway is the one thing that you can't really get rid of. But everything else is pretty modular. You can break it down without too much of an issue. Um, so these are a few build tricks. And again, make sure whenever you place this thing on the ground, you place it once and then pick it back up and place it again. Then it'll be ready to be used for merges, and you won't need to put uh, display dummy or anything else on top of it to make sure it's pressed down. It'll automatically be pressed down the way you want it. I hope this helps you in some way. I hope I've shown you something that'll be beneficial. Um, and if you like this kind of stuff, let me know. If there's anything else you want me to show you, if I can get some more stuff working, I will gladly show you that. Um, but yeah, I don't. They call this, by the way, when builders that do this trick with the wall out here, they call it underpinning the foundation. I don't really care one way or the other about it because I look at it this way: a foundation is a foundation. In the United States, a foundation can be a concrete set of blocks or a crappy wooden foundation. We're still living in the wasteland, so the crappy wooden foundations make a lot more sense. The modern home aesthetic with underpinning doesn't make a lot of sense to me unless you're trying to make it look like you have a what do you want to call it, basement, and you're using your shelter as your basement. Which can be done. Oh, one other thing. This might actually be helpful to somebody. Um, Shelters. So say you decide you want to build over here in the water, right? Well, your shelter is one of those things that has this nifty little thing where you can actually place these underwater without a problem. So you've got a shelter now, and it's down here underwater. You know where it is. You can probably find it pretty easy. Once you have it placed down there, you can even do things like this, which is kind of cool. If I can find the proper category. I kind of hate the build menu in this game. Not because it's like, complex or incredibly, you know, amazing, but like you can take things like floor decor items once you have this down here, and oh, they took that out too. All right, so let's see if this works still. I'm just wondering if it does. It probably won't. Things that I like to do normally don't work for more than like one, maybe two sessions. Nope. All right. So if you want to put something underwater, the other way to do it is to place it on one of these pads. These pads count as ground terrain, so anything you place on them can be placed underwater. So we'll go back to using that. You used to be able to do that same trick with the vault door there, but yeah, it's not letting me do it for some reason, and I don't know if it's because I didn't place the item before I put it underwater. That might be the reason why, to be honest. Because like usually you can pick it up, set it down here, and maybe it'll let me do it. Let's see here. I'll take this guy out. Nope. They took your ability to place anything on this completely away. Alright. Which is kind of weird. Actually, let's check something else. There's one other thing that used to be able to place on top of these things. I think I have some, but I don't know if I do. Well, I know I've got the trap. Will the trap go on there? Nope. So I'm betting that the turrets won't still be able to. Nope. Huh. Alright. So that's totally busted. But that's not a big deal. It didn't work. I only got it to do it a couple times, and I think I might have actually got it to do it on a fluke. But anyway, so these are the tricks that I know that work consistently. These things are great if you want to place things in the water. They're also great if you want to, well, if you want to merge items or the thing of choice. If you want to float items, you're going to need your um, camp module to do that. And what you do is you typically wind up having to take an item. We'll just go with a piece of conduit. This one right here. And we will take said lantern here. We will put it on top of said conduit, like so. Now if I have this placed properly, there we go. Then we just kind of drop it here on top. Now, the thing you want to grab is the conduit, not the item. Okay? So I will do it with a larger piece of conduit so that I can make it, you know, do its thing. And as you can see, just like doing a merge, this will allow you to float something in the air. Not too bad. And it's still attached to the conduit, by the way. So I could place this conduit on top of my house and attach my power and run it like normal, and this thing would still be floating up there above the house at whatever height I've decided to place it at. It's a neat thing for Halloween if you want to do ghost-like effects, or if you're trying to get something that just looks more unique and you're trying to place items in odd places to make interesting camp builds. Um, it works with the balloon decorations. It works with whatever you want to. Um, One of the floor decorations that a lot of people like to use are like, if I can find them. See, I've got so much crap that it just kind of all overflows. And this character might not even have them, to be honest. But it looks like she does. There are those placeable balloon floor decorations.
Oh my god.
That should let
Oh
you
shit.
place those without an issue. Anyway, thank you much, and you guys have fun.